Welcome, everyone, and thank you for being here. I want to tell you something very honest, something most teachers never say. If you've been learning English for weeks, months, or even years, and still feel nervous, confused, or shy when it's time to speak, it's not your fault. You're not broken. You're not slow. You were simply never shown how people actually talk in English. You were given grammar rules, vocabulary lists, maybe even pronunciation exercises. But when you listen to real people, speak in real English, in movies, in interviews, on the street, on YouTube, it feels like they're speaking something different. They speak fast. They skip words. They connect sounds. They say, lemme, gonna, wanna, ya, instead of you. And suddenly you feel lost again. That ends right here, right now. In this video, I will teach you step by step how people talk in English. Not the English of exams, not the English of boring textbooks, the English of real people, real life, real conversation. You're going to understand the truth, learn the patterns, and finally speak English like people actually speak it. This video is for you if you understand English but can't speak fluently. You think in your language and translate every sentence. You speak clearly, but people say it sounds unnatural. You want to speak better, faster, and more confidently. And if you listen till the end, I promise, this video will change the way you speak English for the rest of your life. So don't skip, don't rush, don't leave early. Grab a notebook, listen carefully. And if you're serious about learning English the right way, subscribe to our channel right now, because this is where English becomes real, honest, and powerful. Let's begin. Part 1. Why you don't sound natural. In English. Let's be honest again. You want to speak English like native speakers, right? But when you try to speak, something feels off. You feel like you're thinking too much. Your sentences feel slow, and you can't understand fast English when someone replies. Now here's the truth. The problem is not your English. The problem is the system you followed. You were taught English like a subject, not a language. You were taught rules, not real conversation. Let me show you 5 powerful reasons why you don't sound natural in English. And these are honest, real truths most teachers ignore. 1. You think in your native language and translate. Every time you speak, you build a sentence in your own language, then try to translate it into English in your head. That creates delay, confusion, hesitation. Native speakers never do that. They don't think and translate. They just speak what they feel. You must train your brain to think in English, like a habit. We'll talk more about how to do this in later parts. 2. You use textbook English, not real English. Most learners say things like, I am fine, thank you. My hobbies are reading books and listening to music. Could you please tell me your name? Sounds polite, sounds correct. But guess what? Nobody talks like that. That's robot English. Real people say, hey, what's up? Yeah, I like reading. Hey, I'm Sarah. You? If you want to sound natural, you must stop trying to sound perfect and start trying to sound real. 3. You speak too slowly and carefully. You're afraid to make mistakes, so you speak one word at a time. And the listener loses interest, because real conversation is fast, casual, and flowing. Even native speakers make mistakes. They just keep talking. You don't have to be slow to be correct. You have to be confident to be understood. 4. You don't practice like people actually speak. You memorize grammar. You write essays. You listen to slow learning English CDs. But that's not how people speak. People interrupt. People change subjects. People say, you know, like, anyway, all the time. To sound like them, you have to listen to them. Copy them. Shadow them. Speak like them. Real English is messy. You must practice messy. 5. You're focused on perfection, not communication. You're scared to make mistakes. So you wait for the perfect sentence with the perfect grammar and the perfect word. But guess what? While you're waiting for perfect, a native speaker already said it, full of mistakes, and moved on. Fluency is not about being perfect. It's about being understood. It's about getting the message across. Children speak broken English, and people understand them. Why? Because they speak without fear, without shame. You need the same freedom. You don't sound natural in English because you were taught the wrong way. But now that you know the truth, you can finally start learning the right way. The way real people actually talk. And once you do, everything will change. Part 2. How people actually talk in English. Let's begin this part with a truth nobody told you. There are actually 2 kinds of English in the world. 1. The English people learn in classrooms, books, and apps. 2. The English people speak in real life, streets, cafes, movies, homes, and meetings. And here's the biggest problem. These 2 Englishes are very, very different. Let's break it down. Situation you learn in class people. Actually say, asking about time. What time is it now? Hey, you got the time? Asking for help? Could you please help me? Hey, can you help me out? Saying you're tired? I am feeling very tired today. Ugh, I'm dead today. Making a suggestion. Shall we go for lunch? Want to grab lunch? Saying you don't know, I do not know the answer. Dunno, or no idea. See the difference? One is formal, slow, long, and robotic. The other is casual, natural, fast, and alive. And that's what people use in real life. If you want to become fluent, you must understand what's happening in this second column and how to use it yourself. Now let me take you step by step through the most important parts of real spoken English and how to master them. 1. Contractions and sound merging. In real speech, we don't say full words like robots. People don't say, I am going to do it after I have finished eating. They say, I'm going to do it after I've finished eating. I am. I'm, you are. You're, they have. They've, he will. He'll, she would have. She'd have. Let me, going to. Gonna ka, want to. Wanna example. Textbook. I want to go there because I'm hungry. Real English. I want to go there because I'm hungry. Now you try. Take any sentence and contract it. Turn, I will do it when I have time, into I'll do it when I've got time. That's how people speak. Dropping words. They vanish in speech. Real English doesn't include every word. In casual speech, people drop. Helping verbs, articles, repeating subjects, even entire sentence parts. Examples. Are you coming with me? You coming? Did you eat yet? Eat yet? Do you want to go out? Want to go out? They skip words, because in conversation, meaning is more important than grammar. This doesn't mean you should always skip, but you should understand it when you hear it. Connected speech. Everything blends. In real English, words connect like a train. They don't stop cleanly. What are you doing? What you doing? Did you eat yet? Jeet yet? Let me help you. This is called connected speech, where the end of one word connects with the beginning of the next. These connections make English sound fast and hard to understand if you're not used to it. In every language, people say things like, like, well, I mean, kinda, sorta, actually. Anyway, so they're not useless. They're normal. They give speakers time to think. They show hesitation, surprise, emotion. Examples. Well, I mean, I kinda liked it, but, it was weird. So, what do you want to do now? You don't need to use them, but you must understand them. They're part of natural rhythm. Sentence fragments and real reactions. Textbooks say, always speak in full sentences. Real people say, maybe sure. Nope. Probably not. Wow. Seriously? That's crazy. Wait, what? Real conversations are built on tiny fragments, not long, polished sentences. If someone says, did you see what happened yesterday? You don't say, yes, I did see what happened yesterday. You say, yeah. Oh my God, yes. Brother. Unbelievable, I know, right? This is the language of life. This is the English that flows in homes, offices, streets, airports, podcasts. Intonation and emotion. The hidden power. Words are not enough. How you say them changes everything. Compare. Yeah. 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 Yeah, okay. Same word, different meaning. That's intonation, and it's one of the biggest differences between sounding flat and sounding fluent. Start noticing emotions when people talk. Happy, tired, angry, excited. Their tone changes. This is how English becomes alive. Speed and rhythm. Not what you think. People don't speak fast because they say more words per second. They speak fast because they say less of each word. They cut sounds, blend sounds, drop sounds. Example. Did you eat yet? Sounds like DJ eat. You're going to be late. Sounds like you're going to be late. Rhythm is more important than speed. If your sentence has good rhythm, it will feel natural, even if you say it slowly. Try speaking in chunks. I want to go to the store real quick. That's how English flows. Part 3. How to learn and practice real spoken English. Step by step. Step 1. Change your goal. Stop learning English. Start living English. This is the first and most important change you must make if you want to be fluent. Most people say, I am learning English. But here's the truth. You cannot learn English like you learn math, history, or geography. Math is about numbers. History is about facts. Geography is about places. You study them, you memorize them, you pass exams, and then you forget. But English is not like that. English is not just a subject. English is a living language. It is a language people use to fall in love, argue, do business, order food, cry, tell jokes, dream, and connect with other human beings. If you treat English like a subject, you will always remain a student. You will always feel like you are in a classroom. You will always believe English is something separate from your real life. But if you treat English as something you live in, something you breathe, something that surrounds you every day, you will grow naturally into fluency. How do you live English? Living English means making it part of your daily environment, not just your study time. If you are cooking, say the names of ingredients in English. If you are walking, describe the weather in English. If you are thinking about tomorrow, think about it in English. If you are planning something, plan it in English sentences in your head. You stop waiting for a study hour to use English. You begin living inside English every minute of the day. Imagine two people. Person A studies English for 1 hour every night. They memorize 10 new words. They write 5 grammar exercises. Then they close their book and go back to their daily life in their own language. Person B studies for only 20 minutes, but they live in English all day. They speak to themselves in English. They describe things in English. They watch a video and repeat the sentences. They even argue with themselves in English inside their head. Who will become fluent faster? The second person. Always. Because fluency does not come from hours of study. It comes from the environment you create for your brain. Your brain becomes fluent in the language it lives in. Step 2. Build a daily speaking system. Even if you are completely alone. Now that you understand English must be lived, not studied, you need a daily speaking system. Without a system, you will always rely on motivation. And motivation comes and goes. But a system? A system keeps you moving every day, whether you feel motivated or not. A system is what transforms English from a dream into a reality. And here's the truth. Most learners fail not because they are lazy, not because they are stupid, not because they lack ability. They fail because they don't have a clear system to practice speaking every single day. Think about going to the gym. If you go once in a while when you feel like it, nothing changes. But if you go every day, even for 20 minutes, your muscles grow. The same is true for your mouth, your brain, and your fluency. You need a workout plan for your English speaking muscles. Here is a simple but extremely powerful system you can start today. Speak to yourself, out loud. This is the foundation. Do not wait for a partner. Do not wait for a teacher. Do not wait for a class. Speak to yourself, loudly, out in the open. Talk about what you are doing. I'm making tea right now. I need to clean my room today. I have to finish my project by tomorrow. Describe your thoughts. I feel tired, but I must keep going. I'm worried about the meeting later. I'm excited to watch a new movie. This may feel strange at first, but it is the most powerful way to make English your habit. Mirror practice. Stand in front of a mirror. Look at yourself. Pretend you are talking to another person, and speak for 5 minutes. Choose a topic. Your goals, your childhood memory, what you did yesterday, what you will do next week. Why does this work? Because the mirror creates pressure. You are looking at yourself. You can see your mouth, your face, your body language. It feels like you are speaking to someone else. This builds confidence and real speaking practice at the same time. Shadowing practice. Shadowing means copying native speakers word for word. How to do it. Choose a short video or podcast, 1 to 2 minutes. Play 10 seconds. Pause. Repeat exactly what you heard. Copy the speed, the tone, the stress, the rhythm. Do not just repeat the words. Repeat the music of the language. This is how you train your mouth to sound natural. How to use this system daily? Spend 10 minutes speaking to yourself, 5 minutes in the mirror, 15 minutes shadowing. That's only 30 minutes. But if you do it every single day, your English will transform. The biggest excuse. I have no one to talk to. This excuse must die today. You don't need someone else to start speaking. Your phone can be your partner. Your mirror can be your partner. Your own voice can be your partner. If you speak daily, even to yourself, you will build fluency. If you wait for others, you will stay silent forever. You want fluency? Build a system. Speak every day, whether alone or with someone. Use the mirror. Use shadowing. Use your own voice. Because fluency is not about where you live. It is not about who you know. It is about whether you create a speaking system and follow it every day. Step 3. Train your brain to think in English. Stop translation forever. One of the biggest reasons people cannot speak fluently is this. They think in their own language first, and then try to translate into English. This process is slow, painful, and unnatural. By the time you translate, the conversation has already moved on. You feel nervous, you lose confidence, you stay silent. To become fluent, you must cut out translation completely. You must train your brain to think directly in English. Translation slows your speed. You pause too much, and people lose interest. Translation creates mistakes, because word order is different in every language. Translation makes you anxious because you are always checking, is this correct? Translation keeps English as a foreign subject in your brain, not a natural voice. Fluent speakers never translate. They see, they feel, they react directly in English. How to train your brain to think in English. This is not magic. This is training, and you can do it daily. The name everything method. Wherever you are, name objects in English. Chair, table, door, window, sky, clouds, street, car, bus, bread, milk, cup, plate. Then expand into small sentences. The chair is heavy. The sky looks beautiful. The bus is crowded today. The milk is cold. This builds instant connection between your brain and English words. The mental movie method. Imagine you are watching a movie in your head. Describe it in English. Example. You are walking home. Say to yourself, I am walking slowly. The road is empty. I see 2 children playing. A dog is barking. I feel tired but peaceful. This makes English your inner voice. The emotional reaction. Method, react to everything in English. When you are happy, say, this is amazing. When you are angry, say, this is annoying. When you are excited, say, I can't wait. When you are tired, say, I need some rest. Why is this powerful? Because it connects English to your feelings. Once English is linked with emotion, it becomes natural and permanent. The 1-minute thinking drill. Every morning, choose one topic. Think about it only in English for 1 full minute. Topic examples. My breakfast. My plan for today. My favorite memory. Something that makes me happy. At first, it will feel difficult, but after weeks, your brain will begin choosing English automatically. If you always translate, you will never be fluent. But if you train your brain to think directly in English, fluency will become automatic. From today, let your brain breathe English. Not tomorrow, not someday. Today. Step 4. Train your listening like a speaker, not like a student. Most learners make this mistake. They listen to English only to understand. But fluent speakers listen for 2 things: meaning and patterns. If you only listen for meaning, you understand the message, but you don't improve your own speaking. If you listen for patterns, you catch the way people join words, the way they stress certain sounds, the way they shorten sentences. This is how you learn to speak like real people. Think about how babies learn. They do not read grammar books. They do not translate. They do not study vocabulary lists. They listen for months, every sound, every rhythm, every emotion. Then suddenly, they begin to speak. Your journey is the same. To speak fluently, you must first listen in the right way. How to practice. Listening for fluency. Active listening, with repetition. Choose a short audio clip or video, 30 to 60 seconds. Listen carefully. Then play it again. Then again. Each time, notice different things. First time, meaning. Second time, pronunciation and speed. Third time, stress and intonation. Fourth time, try to repeat after it. This is how you build speaking power through listening. Shadow listening. Do not just listen silently. Repeat immediately after the speaker, like an echo. If the speaker says, "What are you doing later?" you immediately say, "What are you doing later?" This trains your mouth and your ears at the same time. Listen to different voices. Do not limit yourself to one accent. Listen to American, British, Australian, Canadian speakers. Also listen to non-native fluent speakers. Why? Because fluency is not one accent. Fluency is the ability to understand and respond in any real situation. Break sentences into music. English is not just words. It is rhythm. Listen to how native speakers say, "I don't know. I don't know. Did you eat yet? Jeet yet?" If you only read, you will never learn this music. If you listen carefully, you will. Many learners listen passively for hours but never repeat, never copy, never analyze. This is a waste of time. Listening must be active. You must take the sound and put it into your mouth. Do not listen like a student who wants to pass a test. Listen like a speaker who wants to live in the language. Every time you listen, you are collecting energy for your next sentence. The more carefully you listen, the more powerfully you will speak. Step 5. Use real English, not textbook English. This is one of the greatest reasons learners never sound fluent. They study English for years. They pass exams. They can read newspapers. They can write essays. But when they try to have a simple conversation, they freeze. Why? Because the English they studied is not the English people actually speak. In school or traditional books, you might see sentences like, "How do you do?" "I am fine, thank you. And you?" "Would you like to accompany me to the cinema this evening?" Now compare that to how real people speak. "Hey, what's up?" "I'm good. How about you? Want to catch a movie tonight?" Which one do you hear in daily life? Always the second. If you only study textbook English, 3 things will happen. 1. You will understand very little when people talk casually. 2. You will sound robotic and unnatural when you speak. 3. You will feel disconnected from real conversations. To be fluent, you must learn English as it is spoken, not as it is printed. Where to find real English? Vlogs and YouTube channels. Watch daily life vlogs, not formal lectures. Listen to how they talk to the camera, because that is natural English. TV shows and movies. Not all shows are good for learners, but light dramas, comedies, and reality shows use everyday English. Watch with subtitles, then without, then repeat. Podcasts and interviews. Podcasts are powerful because people speak freely, not from a script. You hear hesitation, slang, fillers, and real sentence patterns. Conversations around you. If you live in an English-speaking environment, listen carefully to how people order food, how they greet each other, how they argue, how they make jokes. How to learn from real English? Collect chunks, not words. Do not write down priority instead. Write down, "It's not my top priority right now." Do not write down convince. Instead, write down, "I tried to convince him, but he didn't listen." Because people don't speak in single words. They speak in ready-made chunks. Repeat them aloud. Take every phrase you collect and speak it at least 5 times. Make it part of your muscle memory. Use them immediately. If you learned, "That makes sense," use it in your own conversations today. That is how it sticks. Stop learning the English of classrooms. Start learning the English of real people. Stop copying books. Start copying voices. Because fluency is not about being correct on paper. It's about being connected in real life. Step 6. Track your progress and build unstoppable momentum. Fluency is not built in one day. It is built slowly, piece by piece, step by step. And because it takes time, many learners give up. They feel stuck, they feel lost, and they stop trying. The secret to never giving up is this: track your progress. When you track your growth, you see proof that you are moving forward. Proof gives motivation. Motivation creates consistency. Consistency builds fluency. Think about fitness. If you go to the gym without tracking, you don't know if you are improving. You lift weights randomly, you run randomly, and after weeks you feel like nothing has changed. But if you write down your progress, the weight you lifted, the distance you ran, you see numbers grow. That gives energy to continue. The same is true for English. Without tracking, you feel lost. With tracking, you feel unstoppable. How to track your English. Daily speaking journal. Every day, record yourself speaking for 2 minutes on any topic. Save the recording. After 30 days, listen to the first and the latest. You will hear the difference. Progress notebook. Write one line every day. What new phrase did I use? What mistake did I notice? What did I say better than yesterday? This creates visible proof of progress. Weekly reflection. Every week, ask yourself, did I speak more than last week? Did I use at least 3 new expressions? Do I feel more confident than before? Write your answer honestly. Even small growth matters. Once you see progress, even small progress, you will not want to stop. That is momentum. Momentum means fluency starts pulling you forward instead of you pushing yourself. At first, you push yourself to practice. Later, practice pulls you because you love the progress you see. Fluency is not a dream. It is a system. If you build a system, live in English, think in English, listen carefully, use real phrases, and track your progress, then fluency becomes inevitable. Do not wait for motivation. Create it with proof. And once you see even one small change, let that change carry you to the next, and the next, until one day you wake up and realize you are fluent. Part 4. What you must change, step by step. Step 1. Stop saying, "My English is bad." Change how you see yourself first. This is the first and most important change you must make. Because before your mouth can change, before your words can change, before your speaking can improve, your identity must change. Every time you say, "My English is bad," "I can't speak like them," "I'm too old to learn," "I'm not confident," "I always forget words," "People will laugh at me," you are programming your brain to fail. You are giving your mind a command. Stay small. Stay afraid. Don't grow. Don't try. And your brain will obey. You will hesitate. You will overthink. You will stay silent, even when you know what to say. So here is the truth. Your English is not bad. Your intelligence is not low. Your mouth is not broken. What's broken is the belief system you were forced to build. Most English learners were never told this. Your belief about yourself controls your progress more than your grammar, your vocabulary, or your accent. Let me say that again. You can memorize 10,000 English words. You can study grammar for 10 years. But if you still believe, "I'm not good enough," you will never speak fluently, because your mouth will stay afraid. From today, I want you to stop introducing yourself as a learner or a beginner. Start seeing yourself as a communicator, speaker, improver, explorer, English user, not just a learner. Even if your English is still basic, your mindset must be fluent. Say things like, I'm working on my English every day. I speak better than I did 30 days ago. I'm training myself to speak naturally. I'm not perfect, but I'm progressing. These statements create a new story in your mind, and your mouth will follow that story. There are two learners with the same level of English. Person A says, I know only a little English. I'm bad at speaking. I always get nervous. Person B says, I'm improving every day. I'm building confidence. I speak without fear now. Guess who will be fluent in 3 months? Person B, even if their grammar is worse. Because confidence plus belief builds momentum, and momentum beats perfection every single time. Every morning, stand in front of a mirror and say these sentences. I'm an English speaker. I'm getting better every day. Mistakes are part of my growth. Fluency is my future, and I'm building it right now. Say it out loud, not silently. Train your voice to match your new identity. Your belief becomes your behavior. Your behavior becomes your fluency. If you see yourself as broken, you will never speak with power. But if you see yourself as growing, learning, and transforming, you will not only speak, you will inspire the world with your words. Step 2. Stop learning English like a school subject. Start learning it like a language you live in. This is the second thing you must change. And this is one of the main reasons learners stay stuck for years. In school, you were trained to study English like history, chemistry, math, geography. But English is not a subject. It is not a list of facts. It is not a formula you memorize. English is a living, moving human language. It's not something you pass an exam in. It's something you use to live, laugh, cry, connect, and express your soul. Here's what school taught you to do. Memorize long vocabulary lists. Fill in grammar blanks. Write essay after essay. Read unrealistic stories. Fear every mistake. Focus on tests, not talking. Worry more about grades than conversation. But guess what? Nobody in the real world asks you to define the past perfect tense. Nobody cares if your sentence has perfect structure. They care if they understand you. They care if you're confident. They care if you're real. You must break the habits that school gave you and build new ones that reflect how real people actually use English. Let me show you the difference. School mode. Real fluency mode. Memorize 50 new words a week. Use 10 words in 5 real sentences daily. Study grammar rules for hours. Listen plus speak real English conversations. Fear making mistakes. Learn from mistakes by speaking more. Wait for a teacher to guide you. Be your own coach, speaker, mirror. Write essays that no one reads record voice notes and talk out loud. Here's what you must do from now on. Stop writing essays. Start speaking responses. Example. Instead of writing, what did you do this weekend? Answer it verbally. Stop collecting words. Start building real phrases. Don't write environment equals surroundings. Instead, practice. The environment here is peaceful. Stop doing silent reading. Start doing voice reading. Read articles and speak them out loud to train rhythm, tone, and flow. Stop trying to get 100% right. Start getting 100% expressive. Focus on being understood, not being perfect. Sentence replacements that help shift your mindset. I must get this grammar rule correct. I must make sure people understand what I mean. I have to remember every word. I will learn better by using the words I know. I'll speak only when I'm ready. I'll speak even when I'm not ready, because that's how I become ready. You weren't born to study English forever. You were born to use English to connect with the world. The day you stop treating it like a subject is the day you start speaking it like a human. And that is the day fluency begins. Step 3. Remove the fear of making mistakes. Because mistakes are the path, not the problem. Let's be brutally honest. One of the biggest silent killers of your English fluency is fear. And it hides inside these thoughts. What if I say it wrong? What if people laugh at me? What if I forget the word? What if I sound stupid? What if they don't understand me? And because of these fears, you stay silent. You avoid speaking. You wait. You pause. You plan. You delete the sentence. You keep it in your head and never say it out loud. And do you know what happens when you live like this? You protect your ego, but you destroy your fluency. Every fluent speaker you admire, every native speaker you listen to, every confident voice you hear on podcasts or in YouTube videos, they all made thousands of mistakes. Thousands. But they didn't treat mistakes as shame. They treated mistakes as necessary practice, as part of the process. Let me tell you what actually happens when you make a mistake while speaking. Your brain notices the mistake. It searches for a better way to say it. It learns to correct itself. The memory becomes stronger. Next time, it says it faster and better. This is called error-based learning, and it's one of the most powerful ways humans learn anything. Children do it all the time. They say "goed" instead of "went," and nobody laughs. They say "I doed it" instead of "I did it," and we smile and help them. And guess what? They learn faster than adults, because they're not afraid. They don't care about being wrong. They just speak. And the brain does the work. You must return to that mindset. From now on, say this to yourself. Every mistake I make is proof that I'm speaking. If I'm not making mistakes, I'm not growing. I would rather speak broken English than live with silent regret. I'm not here to impress anyone. I'm here to improve simple exercise to remove fear. Take your phone, open the voice recorder, speak for 3 minutes straight, on any topic. Don't stop. Don't edit. Don't delete. After that, listen to yourself. Notice your pauses, your errors, your emotions. Then try the same topic again, with better flow. Do this daily. Soon, you'll stop fearing mistakes and start using them as fuel. You were never meant to speak perfect English. You were meant to speak real English. English with courage. English with feeling. English with mistakes. And growth. Your mistakes are not the end of fluency. They are the beginning. Step 4. Stop collecting words. Start using them in real life. Here's a question that will shake your entire English routine. What's the point of knowing 10,000 English words if you can't use them in one sentence? Let me repeat. What's the point of collecting vocabulary if you never use it? This is one of the most common traps English learners fall into, and nobody warns them. They spend hours memorizing vocabulary. Sustainability, inevitable, prioritize, nevertheless, astonishing, productivity. And yet, when it's time to speak, they say, I forget. I know the word, but I can't say it now. I studied it, but I don't remember. That's because you're storing words in your brain like data, not like tools. But English is not a dictionary. It's a language of usage, not storage. Let's say you learn the word effortless. It means something done easily, without difficulty. Most learners will write it in a notebook, highlight it, and move on. But real learners, fluent learners, will speak it in 3 different sentences, use it while talking to a friend, repeat it during mirror practice, spot it in movies and repeat the line, record it in a sentence and replay it. This is how a word becomes active vocabulary. You don't just know it, you own it. You can use it anytime, anywhere, like a tool in your pocket. Every time you learn a new word or phrase, use it in 3 real sentences that connect to your life. For example, word, grateful. I'm grateful for my mother. I'm grateful I found this video. I'm grateful for my health. Now the word is no longer a stranger. It's a part of your voice, a part of your story. Use context, not lists. Vocabulary without context is useless. Don't just memorize, abandon, expand, convince. Instead, say, she abandoned the plan because it was too risky. They want to expand their business to Europe. I tried to convince him, but he said no. Context gives life to words. Context makes your brain remember. Here's what fluency really means. Fluency equals the ability to use the words you know, without fear, without pause, and without translation. You can only do this if you stop collecting words like coins and start spending them like tools. Stop measuring your vocabulary by how many words you remember. Start measuring it by how many you use when you speak. Because in the real world, you don't need to sound smart. You need to be understood. And being understood comes from using words with confidence, not storing them with fear. Part 4. The secret language of real English speakers. Speech chunks, daily expressions, and fluent patterns you must know. In every language, people have patterns they say over and over again. Not long grammar rules, not textbook examples. Just real, living, breathing speech that flows naturally in daily life. If you want to sound fluent, you must stop trying to speak in full, perfect, advanced sentences and start learning how real people actually speak in the real world. This is what we call speech chunks or natural phrases. And this is your entry ticket into real fluency. Let's break it all down. What are speech chunks? A speech chunk is a group of words that native speakers use as one unit, again and again, without thinking. These are not individual words like go, want, it. They are pre-made pieces of language like, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, to be honest, at the end of the day, that makes sense. It's up to you. I don't even know. These are the building blocks of real communication. They help you speak faster, sound more natural, build longer sentences easily, avoid translation, respond like native speakers do. Many English learners sound robotic because they try to build every sentence from scratch. For example, they think like this, and I want to go to the store later. But fluent speakers don't build piece by piece. They use ready-made phrases. I was thinking of heading to the store later, actually. It sounds smoother, faster, more human. And once you memorize and practice speech chunks, you don't have to pause to think about grammar or word order. You just say it, like a native speaker would. Now let's learn the most powerful real-life speech chunks, with meaning, examples, and real practice. I will now teach you 25+ powerful expressions that native speakers use every day. You can use them to build real conversations that sound fluent, natural, and confident. I'll break them into 7 life situations so you know exactly when to use them. 1. Starting a conversation. These phrases help you open a conversation in a natural, easy way. Hey, what's going on? So, how's everything? Long time no see. You busy right now? Can I ask you something real quick? These are better than saying, hello. How are you? Because they sound real, not robotic. Practice these out loud. Hey, what's going on? Can I ask you something real quick? Use them in your mirror talk or voice recordings. 2. Giving your opinion. Fluency is not about being right. It's about expressing yourself clearly. Use these chunks to share your opinion without fear. Honestly, I think, in my opinion, I'm not sure, but maybe, it seems like, from what I've seen. Examples. Honestly, I think he made a mistake. It seems like she's not happy about it. Use these while speaking about news, people, or your day. 3. Reacting naturally. When someone tells you something, you don't need a full sentence. You just need real reactions. Here are natural ways to respond. Seriously? No way. You're kidding. That's crazy. I didn't expect that. That's awesome. Good for you. Example. A friend says, I got the job. You say, that's awesome. Good for you. This is how people really talk. Not full, perfect responses, just emotional connection. 4. Expressing uncertainty. Fluent speakers often don't know everything. They use soft, uncertain phrases to keep the conversation going. Here are examples. I'm not really sure. I guess so. It could be. Maybe, I don't know. It depends. Let me think about it. Example. Do you think he's serious? It could be hard to say. Practice these in your voice journal every day. 5. Changing the topic. Real conversations change direction all the time. Instead of awkwardly jumping, use these fluent transitions. Anyway, by the way, speaking of that reminds me. Oh, before I forget. Examples. Anyway, let's get back to the main point. Speaking of coffee, did you try that new cafe? These chunks give your conversation a natural rhythm. 6. Ending a conversation. You don't always need a long goodbye. Use these fluent exit phrases. All right, I gotta run. I'll catch you later. It was great talking to you. Let's talk soon. I'll keep you posted. Example. Anyway, I gotta run. Talk to you later, okay? Ending a conversation fluently is just as important as starting one. 7. Expressing emotions or opinions casually. Don't try to sound like a textbook. Use phrases people actually say when they feel something. I'm so done with this. It's not a big deal. I'm kind of tired today. It was totally worth it. That's not really my thing. I wasn't expecting that. It blew my mind. I can't even explain it. Example, the view from that hill? It blew my mind. This is how real English sounds. Expressive, emotional, alive. When you master speech chunks, you stop thinking word by word. You build sentences quickly. You sound more fluent, even if your grammar isn't perfect. You feel more natural and confident. You understand real conversations, movies, podcasts faster. This is how fluent people speak. And now, you will too. How to practice this every day. Choose 3 new phrases per day. Speak them 10 times each. Use them in your mirror talk. Watch native content, vlogs, interviews, shows. Write down the chunks you hear. Repeat them aloud. Record yourself using them in real-life examples. Example. Hey, what's going on? I'm just saying, maybe we try something else. Anyway, I gotta run. Let's talk soon. Create role plays with yourself. Talk like 2 people. One asks, one replies. This turns passive learning into active fluency. You were taught grammar. You were taught rules, but no one taught you how people actually talk. Now you know, and now you can speak English that is real, fast, natural, powerful, emotional, alive. The kind of English that connects you to people, not just passes a test. You don't need to know 10,000 words. You need to know how to use the right words in the right way. And that's exactly what this part gave you. Now it's your job to use these chunks every single day, until they become your own voice. Part 5. How to sound like a fluent speaker. Train your mouth, your ears, and your emotions to speak English with confidence, rhythm, and power. Let's begin with a painful truth. Most learners understand English. Many can read English. Some can even write it. But when it's time to speak it out loud, their voice becomes small, their pronunciation becomes slow, their sentences sound dry, robotic, and uncertain. And they ask themselves, why does my English not sound natural, even though I know what to say? The answer is simple. You didn't train your mouth. You didn't train your ears. You didn't train your speaking rhythm. But this ends now. Because in this final part, I will teach you how to sound fluent, even before you're fluent, and how to speak in a way that makes people stop, listen, and connect with you, even if your English is still growing. Let's begin. Fluent speakers don't just use the right words. They use the right sounds, the right stress, the right speed, and the right emotion. Here are the 4 things you need to master to sound fluent. 1. Mouth training. 2. Stress and emphasis. 3. Intonation and emotion. 4. Rhythm and flow. Let's go deep into each one, with real examples, beginner-friendly explanations, and powerful practice methods. 1. Mouth training. Build the physical muscle of speaking. Speaking English is not just mental, it's physical. There are sounds in English that don't exist in your native language, and if you've never trained your mouth to say them, they will always sound wrong. Your mouth is like a musical instrument. If you don't practice moving it the right way, the sound will always be off. Take this sentence. I should have told you earlier. A beginner will say it word by word. I should have told you earlier. But a fluent speaker blends it naturally. I should have told you earlier. They don't just say the words. They shape the sentence with smooth movement. Here's how to practice. Record yourself reading one sentence slowly and clearly. Play a native speaker saying the same sentence. Repeat it 5 times, exactly how they say it. Copy the mouth shape, sound blending, and tone. Do this daily. Your voice will start to sound more natural every single week. 2. Word stress and emphasis. Say the right words with the right power. In English, we don't say every word with equal energy. Some words are strong, some are soft, some are skipped. This is called stress. And if you say the wrong words with the wrong stress, your sentence will sound strange, even if the grammar is correct. Take this sentence. I didn't say she stole the money. Now watch how the meaning changes based on which word you stress. I didn't say she stole the money. Someone else said it. I didn't say she stole the money. I never said it. I didn't say she stole the money. I implied it but didn't say it. I didn't say she stole the money. Maybe someone else did. I didn't say she stole the money. Maybe she borrowed it. Same sentence, different stress, completely different meaning. This is the power of word stress. How to practice word stress. Watch 2-minute clips from movies or shows. Pause after every sentence. Repeat it and match the volume, pitch, and word strength. Practice 5 times until it feels natural. This will build your speaking control. The secret to sounding fluent. 3. Intonation and emotion. Speak with feeling, not flatness. A huge mistake most learners make is speaking in a flat, robotic tone. They say, "I went to the store. I bought some eggs. I came home." It's technically correct, but it has no life, no energy, no emotion. Compare that to, "I went to the store, bought some eggs, and came back." Same idea, but now it sounds alive. This is intonation. It's the rise and fall of your voice. And without it, even perfect English will sound boring or fake. How to train intonation. Take one sentence every day and practice it in 5 emotions. "I can't believe this." Now say it. As if you're excited. As if you're angry. As if you're surprised. As if you're sad. As if you're tired. You're not just learning words anymore. You're learning to express your soul in English. That is real fluency. 4. Rhythm and flow. Speak like English is music. English is not just a language. It's a rhythm. Every language has its own music. If you don't speak with the rhythm of English, people will understand your words, but they'll feel something is off. Fluent speakers group words in chunks, not one by one. They don't say, "What are you going to do today?" They say, "What you gonna do today?" This is the flow of English. It's not fast, it's not slow, it's smooth. Do this simple practice every day. Take one sentence. Break it into 3 to 4 chunks. Say each chunk as one unit. Add pauses where a native speaker would naturally pause. Practice until it sounds like music. Example. "I'm gonna go to the store after lunch." This is the difference between speaking words and speaking English. Here's a simple, powerful routine you can follow every day. Choose a short video with a native speaker. Write down one sentence. Play the audio. Repeat the sentence 5 times, copying. Mouth shape, word stress, emotion, rhythm. Record yourself. Compare and improve. Speak it in front of the mirror. Do this every single day, not for 10 hours, just for 15 focused minutes. You don't need to do it perfectly. You just need to do it consistently. You've reached the end of the most powerful video on English speaking ever created. And now you know the truth. You don't need a perfect accent. You don't need thousands of advanced words. You don't need expensive classes. You need a new way of thinking, a new way of listening, a new way of practicing, and a voice that's not afraid anymore. You don't have to wait for confidence. You can create it by speaking every single day. You don't have to chase perfection. You can chase connection, courage, and consistency. You don't have to become fluent overnight. You just have to speak today. This video was not just information, it was a transformation. From now on, English is not something you study. It's something you live. Make it part of your life. Make it part of your day. Make it part of your dreams. Make it part of your voice. Because when you finally speak without fear, without translation, without apology, that's when the world listens, and that's when you become truly fluent.